Hello, Steve Arts 89. Well, I just heard about this and it really annoys me. Jeremy Renner was on The View, and I did see an article like yesterday about this, but I didn't really look at it. I was distracted with things, but I watched The View every day, and I saw him on The View, and he did this really great segment where he talked about how he survived the accident where he was run over by a snowplow or whatever it was, and he's recovering everything, and he's making films. He's doing some of his stunts, everything. He's really recovered 100%. Although he has 25% of aluminium in his body, apparently keeping all his bones there. He broke like 30 bones. I mean, his eye was hanging out. His lungs were crushed. He was a mess. It's amazing he survived. He was on the ice for 45 minutes or 40 something minutes waiting for rescue, and he was alive the whole time, keeping his breathing going and everything. And like some people who pass out when stuff like that happens, he was awake the whole time and remembers it all. And then they brought up the whole movie thing, and he didn't really go into it. But they asked him, was he coming back as Arrow? And he said, well, no. And he didn't really go into it because it was pretty messy. What happened was he was supposed to do a film. Originally he was going to do a Hawkeye film, and they decided not to do a Hawkeye film. And then instead of just getting paid out for that, which he could have been, he opted to do a series for Marvel. And it was a series where I think he was unfortunately secondary to some younger female. I think it was his daughter or just his protege or something. And the complaints of that series was he was, the guest star in his own series or something. I didn't see it. I don't know if that was just a bunch of misogynist, man children complaining, or if it was a legitimate complaint. I haven't seen it. But the assumption was he wouldn't be back. But then he recovered, and they asked him, do you want to come back? He said, yeah, sure. And they said, okay, we're going to do twice as many episodes and we're going to pay you half as much. And he's like, no, that's just insulting. And I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Number one, it's Jeremy Renner, one of the original Avengers. He just survived this whole thing. You should have been grateful that you got to have a second season, because had he died, you sure wouldn't have been having that season. To not pay him even what he was being paid in the first season. Normally people get a bump up, or they get paid the same until they renegotiate their contracts, and if the show's doing well, they'll usually get more money. All these sort of things are negotiated, so surely they'd negotiated a second season. And how they go about offering him less money for the second season when he's returning after all this. And now, even though he's a big star before, this story got him so much attention. People will want to view that just to see what he looks like now and how he does and how he handles playing the same role and being a superhero and doing the stunts and everything like that. It's huge PR. There's going to be a bump to the show, and they want to offer him less money? What the fuck is that? They did the same thing with Terrence Howard. Now, Terrence Howard turns out to be a total homophobic idiot, so I don't care. Anything that happens to him he deserves, as far as I'm concerned, now. But at the time, he was in the first Iron Man, which I just watched last night, and they replaced him in the second Iron Man with Don Cheadle, and I'm like, why did they do that? I went and Googled it during the film, and what happened, it was really a slap in the face. He got the role first, and they didn't have Iron Man yet, and he actually vouched for Robert Downey Jr. and basically got Robert Downey Jr. the role, and he actually took a pay cut himself for them to take him, which is a real pretty good thing for a friend to do as an actor for another friend actor. So he got in the role, and then when the second film came around, they said, yeah, we're going to pay you less. So instead of paying him the rate they should have paid him in the first film, they wanted to pay him less than what they paid him in the first film, when he took a cut on the first film to get Robert Downey Jr. in. And now the film's a big hit, so it's not like they don't have money. It's not like they didn't make money and they're running short and they're struggling. They're not some little independent film with no budget. This is Marvel coming out of a hit film, and they couldn't pay him what they were supposed to have paid him in the first film. I understand why he didn't come back. I'm glad he didn't come back because he's an arsehole. I mean, he's hot. Don Cheadle is not attractive. I would not want to have sex with him. Terrence Howard, absolutely. Well, I would have before I found out he was a complete douche. But although, since it would destroy his masculinity, I'd love to have sex with him, actually. Because he couldn't even act a gay character. He got offered a role and he said, I can't do it because I can't portray a gay character because it'll destroy my masculinity, so I can't do it. Because he's that fragile and sad and pathetic. But, and my favourite little Star Trek actor, Wilson Cruz got stuck into him for it, and he really, really read him for filth. It was pretty brilliant. That's a whole other video. I won't go into that. I'm already up to 5 minutes. But yeah, so Jeremy Renner, they screwed him over. They insulted him. I mean, how do you do that to someone who they just nearly died, and they come back and they can come back to your show and they want to do it, and then you offer them less money and then just kill the series? I'm like, what is wrong with these people? And it's not a one-off. Like I said, they treated Terrence Howard the same way. Sorry, I just ate. I think my mouth is still salivating. But yeah, I don't get it. Now, the rumour was he actually was a douche on set as well, Terrence Howard, so that was partly why they didn't ask him back, but I'm sure the money had more to do with it. So what is this? This is becoming a pattern. It's weird. I'm going to go. Feel free. Share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, Yep. I get it.